But now we have a special guest joining in, Sanjeev Bajaj, Chairman and Managing Director at Bajaj Finserv, and of course he's also the Vice President of CII. He's with us, and Lata is also joining in to take this conversation forward. Lata, over to you.
Okay, Sanjeev Bajaj is also joining us as Vice Chairman CII and of course Managing Director of eminently successful NBFCs. Thank you very much, Sanjeev, for joining us. Since you're wearing your CII hat, I want to ask you, how is industry, especially the NBFC space, impacted by the second round of infections?
Good afternoon, Lata. At this point of time where we are in this second wave, it's a little too early to talk about impact on the industry, whether the NBFC or otherwise. Our attempt at this phase has to be to ensure that we shorten this phase as far as possible, we keep it localized, and towards that, the steps recently announced by the government, which CII has been working with the government for the last month or more, of opening up vaccinations to all adults, of making vaccines available, doing whatever it takes, I hope will bring this wave under control rapidly. It may still take a few weeks, it may take a month, but combine that with the fact that over the last year, most businesses have learned how to work from home, have learned to manage that balance, that I'm hopeful that we don't go through a situation of last year. But as I said, that is not the focus right now. The focus is to contain this second wave as rapidly as we can.
Okay, you know, Sanjeev, from yesterday 6 o'clock, when the announcement came about liberalizing the sale and distribution of vaccines through the state governments and the open market, we must have spoken to at least a dozen professionals, including the likes of, you know, Dr. Reddy's or the government ICMR representatives. The broad takeaway is that the first Sputnik vaccine is going to be imported, not manufactured, imported only by start of June, so not even end of May, but June. So we have a difficult 2 months to contend with. The vaccine is a great medium-term hope, but it is a hope after 1 quarter, or so it seems from the conversations we have had so far. So that's why I want a little bit of your analysis of how industry will go, or the economy will behave in the next 1 month, and whether any hand-holding is needed from Reserve Bank or the government. I mean, no services are working. You know, there won't be spas, there aren't, you know, restaurants, hotels, resorts, as well as shops. You know, there are no cloth shops or shoe shops or anything other than food and emergencies that are open. So can this mean a great deal of difficulty for the financial sector?
Lata, as CII, we have professed for a micro-containment strategy. That's the right way to control the current spread of the virus. Naturally, we have seen some states and cities act more stringently, but they've also done it in a balanced manner so that at least large organized industry, some sections of the economy that keep the economy growing, can continue with the right precautions. And we believe that's the right way to go. We do not see, and we hope we do not see, a complete lockdown. There are multiple people that from the government, right from the Prime Minister, who have said that we are not, there is no national lockdown that is over here.
Yeah.
We expect states to act based on what they see on the ground. So I'm hopeful that we will contain this reasonably well. What the fallout of this is going to be, we can only assess once we've got to that stage of control.
No, certainly we are wiser with each passing day as to, you know, how things have panned out so far. But truck rentals have fallen between 10 and 16%, the Federation of Truck Owners told us. And likewise, like I was telling you, there have been a lot of services that have been hit. So, yeah, you know, we were speaking even to the FIDC representatives, and they have requested Reserve Bank to allow retailers and shops to also be considered as the MSMEs and therefore be given some SOPs. Is there anything that CII is asking?
Not at this stage, because as I said, it is too early for us to talk about this. Our complete focus is to work with the government, work with our member base, work with the private sector to see what we can now do to ensure that in an organized manner, we vaccinate as many people as possible. Because the challenge is not only on the availability of vaccines, it will also be now how it is distributed. We know that this virus is spreading in rural India as well. We have seen many other countries move away beyond hospitals to mobile clinics, drive-ins for vaccination drives, and that is something that we would encourage our government to think as well. So our focus at this stage has to be on curtailing this wave. The rest of it, Lata, is theory at this point of time. It's maybe something that your channel as a business channel has to focus on. Our focus is not to crunch those numbers right now. The only numbers we are crunching is how can we reduce the number of days for more and more people to get vaccinated and reduce the extent of this wave.
Okay, but what is your best guess? Do you think we can expand and the private sector can be involved even before early June? I mean, May is when it is being thrown open to non-central government entities. But you think that enough vaccines will be produced for anyone to start in May itself?
I believe people will start off, because it's not that everybody who's 45 plus is rushing to go and take the vaccine. Many of them have already had the virus, so they have to wait for some time before they take their first or second shots. And hence, I believe this process will start. You talked about Sputnik. I believe that a few million vaccines will get imported in May, so we will see additional vaccines available there. There is a lead time, naturally. There is a lead time to additional production and capacity development. The government has given these advance amounts, as we know, to our two large vaccine manufacturers. That should help as well. But yes, the next couple of months are key, and hence I think communication from all of us has to be consistent to follow all the safe practices over the next few months, to avoid any gatherings over 10 people, so that we all help to prevent the spread while we are getting ready with additional vaccines and our ability to vaccinate a larger population.
Okay. No, Dr. Reddy's G.V. Prasad said that the Sputnik import will be early June, and production, he says, it could take 6 months to put a vaccination plant in place. These were his numbers. But is CII speaking with state governments to centrally procure or put in some auction bids? Any preliminary thoughts at all on how this other 50% will be accessed by industry and state governments?
So, Lata, as you know, this announcement has just come, and that's why one of the important things, both on this administration of vaccination as well as of imports, it has to be a set of rules that are simple, that are easy to follow, and that are quickly put together. And CII will work with the governments to be able to do that, both at the center, because they are the ones that will bring this out first, and then with the state governments. So that's why the next week, 10 days is going to be important to make sure that these things get done, so that there is a lot more clarity as to how not only what the central government does, but state governments do, and what private sector does in supporting this whole process.
You see, as the head of Bajaj's finance wings, you may have 10,000 employees. If you want to vaccinate them, how best do you think you will proceed? Are you likely to import on your own, to strike a deal with Serum or Biotech? Will you go through Maharashtra government? I would assume a bulk of your employees are in the state. What is likely to be your I mean, I'm asking you as one of the specimen entrepreneurs.
Sure. And so there are a number of things here that we are evaluating, and as the rules become clear, we will do that. One, we are about 45,000 people across finance and insurance. Almost 8,000-9,000 of them are just in Pune, not even in Maharashtra, because that's where we are based, and that's the city that is hardest hit. We are already working, and we've just received permission to set up our own vaccination centers. So that should be up and about in the next few days. We had done this. In our case, as you know, 45 and above is not a very large population. For example, out of 8,000 people in Pune, it's only a few hundred people. But we have already tied up with a number of hospitals, so most of them have got vaccinated. But we knew that this next phase would open up. Naturally, we didn't know when. So we've started getting ready for that as well. And once we know what are the options available to us, we will explore all of them, whether it is working with the domestic manufacturers, with the state, central government, directly on imports. Once we know what's the route that's available for that, so that we work together as one to ensure that we are able to reduce this current wave.
Okay, you haven't so far touched base with CII Executive Committee on what is in their mind?
No, so this is currently work in progress. Okay. So as we work towards it, we will know something sometime soon.
And as the head of Bajaj Finserv and Bajaj Finance, you haven't tried to reach out to Maharashtra government on what is their next step, whether you would partner with them or benefit from it?
So as part of CII itself, we are part of a small group of businessmen and others that the Maharashtra government has been regularly consulting with. And but at this stage, everybody is just waiting for those rules to be formed. There are a lot of suggestions and points that have come forward, but once they get put in an orderly manner, we'll be able to talk about it.
You know, earlier today we spoke with Magma FinCorp, and he also was speaking, Sanjay Chamria was speaking as representative of the FIDC, and they were wanting some longer timelines for collections, because their people are not even able to go out and collect, make the weekly collections, their MFI wing. Is there anything on those lines that are needed to be tweaked in the form of rules, either RBI or government?
No, it's absolutely needed, and I'm glad you triggered that question, Lata. Unlike banks, MFIs, NBFCs and insurance are not part of the original Essential Services Act of the 1960s, because most of them didn't exist for consumer businesses. And that's why even today we have to run after each state when they announce such restrictions or lockdowns, to allow these services to be exempt, because as Sanjay of Magma told you, that it's not just a question of collections. People need small value loans, and that's where MFIs and NBFCs play an equal, if not larger role than banks. And people need it right now for their medical costs, for hospitalization. Same on the insurance side. For those that have health insurance, claims need to be settled. And that's why I hope that the leaders are watching this program, they take note of this, and they allow these services, and there are a few others. So there's a list that we've made as CII that brings in a few other services as well, like the pharma industry needs to be kept open for obvious reasons, and there are a few others. So we have a list as CII that we've been working with state governments actively. But yes, every mode that we can communicate with them is important to get them to keep these services open.
Okay, so basically you're saying, like the banking services, NBFC also be considered essential service, right?
NBFC, MFI, insurance. Talking about financial services.
I think insurance they already included. Insurance guys were allowed to, I guess.
I'm not sure if every state does that.
Okay, Maharashtra had allowed. I remember seeing Bima in that
list. Yes, Maharashtra had allowed. You're right.
Yeah, just now our reporter Yash Jain is flashing that in Maharashtra all groceries, vegetable shops, fruit vendors, dairies and other food shops are allowed to remain open only between 7 a.m. and 11 a.m. So even for essential services, the number of hours have been curtailed. Sanjeev Bajaj, how difficult is this going to be? Is this likely to be as bad as March, April, May of 2020? Because the number of infections this time are a multiple of what it was, even if the lockdown is not so severe.
So Lata, I'm not a health expert. I think the health expert.
No. I'm asking you the commercial business only. I'm just saying, considering that we know that the health numbers are 3 times as bad as what they were in September when we peaked, are you expecting the commercial business also to be impacted as much as last year?
So again, as I said earlier, let's see how long this lasts. The Maharashtra government has taken certain early steps. As you know, in Mumbai, the curve is already starting to flatten.
That's
in
true.
Pune, it appears to be so. These are the two big cities in Maharashtra. So right now, as I said, we are focused on this part of the work. We will come to how it impacts all of us soon after this.
Right. Sanjay Bajaj, all the very best. Thank you very much for speaking with us, both as a finance professional and as a member of the CII. Even I'm hoping it doesn't come to it that, policymakers have to extend rules, reclassify NPA definitions. One hopes it doesn't come to that. But at the moment, the indexes are telling us that things are bad. Thank you, Sanjeev Bajaj. Surabhi, it's
you.
getting troubled by the minute.